Welcome back to Success with Steven. My name is Steven Smith. On this channel, we talk about everything financial literacy. And today we're going to be talking about the American Express Blue Business Cash Card. This is probably the most underrated business credit card of 2024. And I was able to get this card with a starting limit of $10,000. I do want to make a correction. There was another video where I talked about cards that were guaranteed $10,000 limits. This was supposed to be one of the cards. You can actually have a smaller starting limit for this particular card. It cannot be guaranteed to be $10,000. So I did want to make that correction. Now, with that said, there is a trick that I'm going to give you at the end of the video. And one of my recommendations to actually get a higher limit for this particular credit card and the things that I understand from talking to a representative with American Express. So before we go into that, I do want to talk about the benefits of this card, why I think that it is underrated, and why this is going to become one of the most important cards to me by the end of the year around Q4. Now, for this card, it has no annual fee. That's one of the best things. The other Amex cards that I've had is the Gold, the Platinum, with annual fees as high as $695. Now, I do have another video that by the time you watch this, it should be released, where I talk about the Amex Platinum and how those fees can somewhat be justified. But this one, no annual fee. It also has the benefit of being a 0% introductory APR for 12 months for your purchases, and that's going to be from the date of opening. After that, your APR will be at a variable rate of 18.49% to 26.49% based on your credit worthiness and other factors as determined at the time of account opening. There is this really huge advantage that you get with this card. I do want to come back to that advantage in a second. Now, you do earn a welcome offer bonus. At the time of recording, you can earn $250 in statement credit after you make $3,000 in purchases on your card in the first 3 months. Now, if you go to the website and you notice that there's another offer for $300 cash back for $6,000, I have been seeing that. It seems like it can vary depending on the offer that you select when you apply. I'm not really sure why there's so many different offers with American Express cards, but for this one, this is the one that I actually got offered. So if you do spend $3,000 within the first 3 months, you will get $250 cash back. If we look at some of the additional features here, there is 2% cash back on all eligible purchases up to $50,000 per calendar year. That is a huge benefit. Now, one drawback, I would say, the 2% that you actually get back, it's only in statement credit. You do not get cash back. There's another card that's also very good, the Wells Fargo Signify card. That one gives you 2% cash back that you can actually redeem and deposit into your bank account. Unfortunately, for this card, it is only a statement credit, so you should keep that in mind. It's also only up to $50,000 per calendar year. On the Wells Fargo one, there is no cap. And after that, it's 1% on purchases thereafter. Cash back earned is automatically credited to your statement. All right. There are some travel benefits, but if you have any other travel cards, these will just come basically standard for you. Car rental, loss and damage insurance. Also global assistant. The shopping benefits that you have here will be extended warranty. So when you use your card on eligible purchases, you can cover any extra manufacturer warranties that will apply for 5 years. And there are some stipulations, so you will want to read the terms and conditions there. So again, you want to read those exclusions and restrictions. They'll let you know exactly what those are. So purchase protection. You'll also get protection if, let's say, your new camera was stolen, you knocked over your new lamp moving a couch, anything unexpected happened, you will be covered for those purchases, and that is up to 90 days from the covered purchase date. And then, of course, you want to read the exclusions and restrictions, and then American Express experiences. So you can stay in the know with exclusive access to ticket pre-sales, if you are familiar with all the pre-sales that Amex does offer, you get that benefit. Sometimes it's concerts, sometimes it's shows. And I'm going to tell you now why this is going to be one of the most important cards for any small business owner or any business owner, period, especially if you do some of the similar things that I do to earn extra money. So with this card, there are some people that have said on a previous video that this card has a limit as low as $2,000. Now, here is a strategy that I think you can use in order to actually increase that limit. So if you were to apply for the Amex Business Cash Card, from my understanding, the reason why this card normally starts out at a low limit is because it's a 0% APR card. It has the option of flexible spend. So on this card, you can actually spend a little bit more than the limit that they give you, the initial limit. However, that has to be approved by American Express. And normally for this card, if you don't have any type of relationship with them and you apply for it and you do get approved, they're usually going to start you off at a lower limit. So one option that you have, one, build a relationship with American Express. I would go for a different product first and then get this one. This is what I would also recommend. One of my my first American Express card was a gold charge card. Doesn't have a revolving limit, doesn't have the same restrictions as a revolving limit card. The next one that I got was the American Express Business Prime card. When you spend that card with Amazon Prime, you can get 5% cash back, well, 5% back to the card. Now, that one I got with a $12,000 limit. If you want to get the Amex Blue Cash card with a high limit and you don't have a relationship with American Express, my recommendation is to get the Business Prime card first. Reason being, they give more limit for that card. They give higher limit for that card. I think it's because it's not a 0% APR card. From my understanding from speaking to American Express, they normally will give you more, especially being new. For me, $12,000 off the bat. Then if you were to get the American Express Business Cash card, you can then move the limit over from that Prime card over to this one. So that would be my recommendation. If you're going to, be looking at getting the Business Cash, maybe start with the Prime first, the Amex Prime. Take the limit from that one, move it on to this one. That way, whatever limit that they give you, you can add that limit on to a 0% APR card. And again, that's the trick. In my opinion, it's a really good strategy in order for you to be able to get a higher limit on this card if they do not give it to you. I would start with that one first, then move on to this one, and then just move the limit over. If you did request a credit limit increase, you will have to wait 60 days in order to do this. On initial card opening, you may have to wait the 60 days. I didn't have to, do anything like that, but I am going to move probably $10,000 over from my Prime card over to this one. That way it can be 20,000. It'll be a much higher limit. And why I was saying this may be one of the most important cards that you have all year, or the most underrated card that you could possibly get if you do this same strategy, I'm going to buy inventory towards the end of the year that I'm going to be using for Amazon FBA. I will then have 0% APR for a very long amount of time with this card. And I was able to just move that limit over there. So now I can have access to $20,000, 0% APR for around 8 to 9 months, which for me is more than enough time. I know my inventory, very familiar. So that is going to be one of the most important things to me. 2% cashback statement credit, not to mention good profit margins. And it is the reason why I got this card in the first place. And the reason why I got it early. I have another American Express video where I talk about the do's and don'ts. One of the things that you do not want to do with a Amex card, you do not want to just get the card and start high spending. If you get this card and start trying to spend $10,000 off the bat, it will raise a red flag. They will ask for documentation, which is why I got the card a few months earlier. I'm going to get the card warmed up. I'm going to start with small transactions, then I'm going to make larger transactions, and I'm going to keep doing it that way to gradually raise how much I'm spending on this card. That way, when the time comes when I want to make a big purchase for my inventory, the spend will not look abnormal. The spend will look on par with what I've been doing this whole time, and I've built up a little bit of equity from being able to use this card in that short period of time. So I recommend you use a similar strategy. If you want to use this card for 0% APR, maybe look at, again, Amazon Prime card. They seem to give out higher limits. I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying for my first two cards, Gold and then the Prime, they gave me a very high limit for revolving off the bat. And I had to do a review for 2 weeks. I didn't get the card immediately. It took 2 weeks for me to get the card and got it with that $12,000 limit. So, even with that scrutiny, I was able to get the card with a high limit. You can then get the same card. I will recommend doing this at least 90 days in advance. So yes, you do lose about 90 days on your 0% APR, but it's worth it because you're getting this prepared. Start using it, get it warmed up, move the credit line over. You can have a higher line on this card, and then whatever you need to do for the remaining time frame is to your discretion. So that's my strategy. That's what I'm going to be doing with this card. I think it's amazing. I think it's, again, highly underrated. I don't think it's spoken about enough, and it's definitely going to be one of my favorite business credit cards for the remainder of 2024. I think between this and the Wells Fargo Signify card, this is my really big matchup. Like, these two are just going to be like my go-to cards for the end of the year, for Q4, for e-commerce. These are my go-to guys. And then I also still have Marcus, of course, with 0% APR, the Chase Ink card with 0% APR, and a couple of other options that don't have 0% APR. But if I want to use more limit, I do have that. Do have Navy Federal. Do have the Amex Platinum. There's a couple of different options that I can lean on. But the 0% APR ones that I now have 3 of those, around 25,000 easily. No, around 35,000, I guess, easily between all of them now, right around there. So should be well equipped for the end of the year. And I think I'm going to document that process and let you guys see exactly what I do, how it starts and then how it finishes. So, maybe you can do a similar thing. All right. If you have any questions or concerns, please drop a comment below. More than likely, I'm going to do a compilation where I talk about all of these cards and just make it to where you can see them back to back. And this will be all of the business credit cards that I have for 2024, all the ones that I recommend for you. And if you have any other cards that maybe you want me to apply for or you have questions about, please drop a comment below. If you have this card, let me know the limit that you got when you received this card. Let me know if you also have that Amazon card and then you got that one with the higher limit. And if you weren't aware, you can move that limit over. So if that was good information, good strategy that you may implement, then let me know in the comments. Other than that, you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for watching.